UConn, well balanced, six players averaging 9 points or more. I mean, I don't think, is there anyone faster than Jordan Hawkins? And we have a jersey. We have props now.
It's a little Ray Allen throwback. Come on, you got to give me credit for that one.
One of my
So
all-time favorite shooters.
the only thing that's good about tonight's show too is there's not a UConn game on, so we don't have to see Rob in the background doing the threes, pointing to his head and fist pumping while we're trying to digest the other things that are going on in college basketball.
Well, we're
So
following the rundown.
yeah, we're gonna go right. We're gonna give it to Rob right now. Let him go on a UConn tangent, and then me and you will kind of jump in and add our pieces too.
I
You
think
have
I
the
handled
floor.
myself pretty well. Like those were two big games, and I think I handled myself. I was professional-ish, right? And
Ish.
that's really all you can be.
Heavy on the ish.
Heavy on the ish. No, look, I think that they are a really dangerous team because they can give you so many different looks, right? If you want to go really big, you can play Donovan Clingan at the 5, who gives you a completely different presence as a lob target and a rim protector. You can play Andre Jackson essentially as a point guard, and all of a sudden you have four guys on the perimeter that are between 6'6" and 6'8" and switchable. You have Adama Sanogo, who has been playing like an All-American so far this season, who's now shooting 50% from three through 8 games. He's hit 7 threes in 8 games. You have a bunch of transfers that have come in and not only really fit seamlessly into this group, but have embraced what their roles are and what they're going to be asked to do, right? Like you don't hear Naheem Aline or Joey Calcaterra or Hassan Diarra complaining about minutes, complaining about shots, complaining about anything. Tristan Newton has come in and kind of fit seamlessly in as a creator. And Alex Caravan is I think he's going to be an NBA player. I think he's going to be drafted early second round in like 2 or 3 years. He could shoot it. He's smart. He's always in the right spot. And I think there's very much still a ceiling to tap into. And the reason I say that is we've seen like one game of Jordan Hawkins going nuts. We know how good he can be in theory, but he had a concussion last night. He got a technical foul and he didn't play after like the 19-minute mark in the second half. They beat an Iowa State team that had just beat North Carolina, that was a top 40 team on KenPom, one of the best defensive teams in college basketball. They beat them by 20. Jordan Hawkins had 2 points, played 6 minutes. Adama Sanogo had 4 points and played like 22 minutes. The two guys that were supposed to be their All-Americans on the Big East preseason show, I said those if UConn's going to be a team that can compete for a Big East title, they need Adama Sanogo and Jordan Hawkins to be two guys that are averaging like 37 points between them. They got 6 from them and they beat Iowa State by 18. I'm the biggest UConn homer you're going to find, and I did not expect this team to be close to this guy. I thought they were like top 25-ish at best. And like I think they're legit like a top 8 team in college basketball right now.
And they're holding teams to 58 points right now, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
mean,
they're good.
I don't know what you guys think, but when I watch them play and I look at their teams the last couple of years and just Coach Hurley, right? I felt like in years past at UConn, he's almost trying to will his teams with his energy, with how he is on the sideline, with his antics and everything on the sideline. And it's almost like, and I was only in the year with him for 1 year, his last year at Rhode Island, but his last year at Rhode Island, he knew that his team was better, right? They knew Jared Terrell was the guy, and then they had tremendous balance from like numbers 2 through 8. They were deep, and he knew he was better than you. And he didn't have to go out there and try to will his team to play hard. And when you watch him on the sidelines now, I feel like the same thing, right? Like his first couple of years at UConn, he's trying to will those guys. And he's like, look, I know we're good. I know we're deep. I don't have to do that anymore. I'm going to go out here and let these guys be who they are and give them confidence. The other thing, too, is like just how unselfish they're playing. They're averaging 19 assists a game.
Mm-hmm.
So the ball is hopping and it's moving around. And Rob, you make a good point too, just in terms of the transfers. Like 2 of those guys are coming off the bench, and there doesn't seem to be any chemistry issues. Hey, this is my role. This is what I'm. And everyone's kind of clicking on all cylinders. So like in terms of the transfers he took, he's got the right character in the locker room, but he just looks different to me on the sidelines than he did his first couple of years at UConn, because I think he knows, hey, we've got a really, really good team. I'm going to put them in the right spots to be successful. And it's very similar to his last year at Rhode Island, where, those guys lost in the second round of Duke in the NCAA tournament. But hey, Jared Terrell was the guy. And then we had their 2 through 8 were terrific. And there was just tremendous balance. They played unselfishly. And night in and night out in the Atlantic 10, they knew they were better than you. And he knew it. And it's like just watching him on the sidelines, I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like he looks different and almost like more confident and like, hey, man, these guys are good. I don't have to try to, inject energy and effort into them. They already have it.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that stands out to me in that regard, and you're 100% right on that. Like, there is he's always going to be a lunatic on the sidelines. That's just kind of who he is. But there's like a quiet confidence about him this year where instead of like screaming at someone, he's like getting in the stance and clapping, right? Where he still has that intensity. He very much has the personality on the sideline of he's going to kill you in practice, right? Like practices are not going to really be all that enjoyable. He makes that be the uncomfortable spot. And then in games, he is very much your cheerleader, right? Like he's like in games, I'm giving people confidence. I'm dapping them up. I'm telling them they're the baddest dude in the room. I'm telling them no one can guard you. Like, go get your shot, right? And I kind of like that mentality in the coach. But to your point with the energy, Andre Jackson to me is the kind of the glue that holds everything together here. One, he comes off the bench. This kid's going to end up getting drafted at some point because he is a physical freak. He's coming off the bench. Two, he has embraced this idea that like you're going to come in and your entire role is just going to be to fuck stuff up defensively. Run around, try to jump passing lanes, try to block shots, go out there and show everybody how athletic you are over and over and over again. Go guard a point guard 94 feet. Go out there and when you get a rebound, try to go take it all the way to the other end of the floor, right? Just go out there and play like a maniac. And that was something that we didn't really see that much last year. And last night against Iowa State, he completely changed the game. Like he came in and when he showed up on the floor, like it took it from a game where UConn couldn't really get anything going to, okay, this lead is just slow. It wasn't a run. It was just like a siege, right? They went from being down to being up by like 13 at one point. And it was just a slow, methodical grind you down. And it's I don't know. You got to cut me off here, Megan, because I'm
about to cut you off. I am going to cut you off. Look, I mean, between soccer and UConn basketball, I mean, this man, he could go on a soliloquy, like Shakespeare.
You got to keep me in check, Megan.
I'll keep you in check there. I will say this though, to cap this all off, it's a similar vein talking about Coach Hurley with Coach Painter. It's finding those players that fit in the chemistry. And what's so impressive is you watch this UConn team play and it looks like they've been playing together for years. Like the chemistry is so good and you have multiple transfers that are coming in, but everyone's unselfish. They can shoot. They're shooting 37% from 3 as a team. At one point in that Iowa State game, they were out rebounding the Cyclones 22-7 in the first half. So they're doing all the little things that you need to win, but they're doing it with new pieces and it's happening quickly. So all in all, this is a really good formula. I'm excited to see how things shake out in Big East play down the stretch.